The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this dynamic world? We are a passionate community dedicated to bridging the digital dive. Through our comprehensive training programs, we equip businesses and young people with the essential skills they need to succeed in the digital age. Digitech Today fosters a collaborative learning environment, connecting experienced trainers with eager learners from all walks of life. Our impact goes beyond training. We are building a future where everyone has the power to participate in the digital world. Join the movement. The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this dynamic world? We are a passionate community dedicated to bridging the digital dive. Through our comprehensive training programs, we equip businesses and young people with the essential skills they need to succeed in the digital age. Digitech Today fosters a collaborative learning environment, connecting experienced trainers with eager learners from all walks of life. Our impact goes beyond training. We are building a future where everyone has the power to participate in the digital world. Join the movement. The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this dynamic world? We are a passionate community dedicated to bridging the digital dive. Through our comprehensive training programs, we equip businesses and young people with the essential skills they need to succeed in the digital age. Digitech Today fosters a collaborative learning environment, connecting experienced trainers with eager learners from all walks of life. Our impact goes beyond training. We are building a future where everyone has the power to participate in the digital world. Join the movement.
Hi, John. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Can you hear me clearly?
Very clear.
Okay.
Just waiting our moderator to join, then she can start off.
Okay, sawa.
The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this dynamic world? We are a passionate community dedicated to bridging the digital dive. Through our comprehensive training programs, we equip businesses and young people with the essential skills they need to succeed in the digital age. Digitech today fosters a collaborative learning environment, connecting experienced trainers with eager learners from all walks of life. Our impact goes beyond training. We are building a future where everyone has the power to participate in the digital world. Join the movement.
Oh, damn it. Hi, Wambra. Hi, John. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Okay.
Finally, I'm able to get you guys. So, yeah, it's a beautiful evening. And today we're going to talk about, we'll be talking about the evolution of SEO. So, we're talking about GEO, AEO. And so, it's such a timely conversation because SEO is something that most people are always talking about, and it's good that you're going to hear about some of the nuggets and wisdom that you have. So sorry, not feeling so well, so I won't be having my camera on. I founded Digital where we empower young professionals, marketers, and business owners on digital skills, digital technology that are supposed to leverage on in order to scale up either career wise or business wise. And so it's my pleasure to invite moderator who is Ombra, and she'll take us through the rest of the session. So we'll try to make it very very short. So within the next 25 minutes, we're going to be done. So to our speaker, make sure you give us those punchy points that we need to hear, and definitely this is going to be an amazing session. So thank you everyone for being here. We are live on LinkedIn and also YouTube. So wherever you're following us from, feel also free to leave a comment in the chat section and comment section. And our moderator and speaker will be able to pick up from there. So over to you, Vamra. I don't know where the noise is coming from.
Could be my laptop. Let me just switch it on.
It could be.
Can you still hear the voice, the noise?
It's not there. The noise is good now.
Okay.
So yes, you can take it up.
Um, Thank you so much. I am so sorry we took so long to start because apparently sometimes KPLC does one thing. Anyway, my name is Wamra, and I would like to welcome everyone who has joined us tonight to have this conversation. As Don said, this is such a timely
There's some noise.
conversation.
Sorry. Maybe I don't know. John, please mute IC so that I can identify where the noise is coming from. Let's see. Continue. So I think there is some noise coming from your side, Joanne. I don't know what's maybe what you've connected to your phone. There is some conflicting stuff with your phone or something. Because when you mute, it goes clear. It goes clear. No noise at the moment. Okay. Yes, take it up.
Okay, thank you. As I was saying, just as you said when you were introducing that this is such a timely conversation that we're having tonight, and for everyone who has joined, welcome, and I hope that everyone is going to get and gain something from this conversation. So I believe there are two kinds of people that are watching the GEO and the AEO at the moment, this conversation, because it's something that is unfolding as we speak. And there are those who are waiting and see how is this going to settle, and maybe I will start moving once it settles. And there are already those people who are already repositioning themselves, and I believe that tonight's guest is firmly in that second camp of people who have already repositioned themselves. And our guest for tonight is Joanna Nyango, and I will let her introduce herself and take it over for us.
Thank you so much. Joanne, over to you.
Thank you so much. Wamra, that's your name, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And thank you so much also, Ben. Willard. It's a very good opportunity. And I was really eager to take you guys through this topic because it's something that I do. It's something that is living within me on a day-to-day basis. So my name is John Anyango. I'm a digital marketer, but I have a company that I've founded that is also called Digital Marketing Summit. So it's a company that is basically training people what to do for digital marketing, things like those ones. And then also I have a podcast that I'm running. It's called Take It From Me. So technology, take it from me. So what we do is we discuss digital marketing, we discuss technology, we discuss AI, creativity and innovation. So basically it's just what we are discussing. Even for my podcast, that is basically what we do. And yeah, that is my name, Wambra.
Okay, thank you for your introduction. And today's session is going to be quite different from what we used to. As opposed to having a panel conversation where we have Joanne today has prepared a presentation for us, and I would like her to go to take us through our presentation. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I have a presentation here with me for today. It's something that is going to take notes, more than 25 minutes, 20 minutes will be done. So ideally, when this topic came up, it's something that we've been discussing for the last like 2 years. It's not something that is creeping in right now. It's something that has always been there. And for anybody that has positioned themselves into the AI world and they understand what AI is doing to the tech world right now, they definitely know that this is a topic that you cannot miss. So ideally, what we are saying right now is search engine optimization is dying. Slowly by slowly is dying. I'm not saying that completely it's going off, but pole pole we are fading off. So what are we remaining with? We are remaining with generative AI. We are remaining with answering a lot of questions that most people want to know from a brand. So for instance, currently, if you go to your Google, you search for anything, whatever you search, normally you'd find so many websites of companies or websites of brands, etc, etc. But currently what you do when you search on your Google, the first thing that would appear, it's either a response from ChatGPT, it can be AI, it can be bad, depending with whatever you're using. But normally it comes from ChatGPT, from your Google. So what does that tell you? It tells you that there are so many answers that you're supposed to answer as a brand in order for you to appear at the top searches from what we are discussing. So ideally, what we are saying is, for instance, if you're a company that is dealing, from my example, say you're a company that is dealing with in real estate, for instance, kitambo, you'd have written a lot of information on your blog telling us a lot of vitu mingi tu sana. But currently what is happening is you need to answer the questions: what, the whys, the when, the, you're answering the questions. And then now what AI is doing is taking this information of your the questions you're answering. And ideally what we are saying is, you don't have to answer a lot of it. Like, don't give a lot of information. Roughly give us 3 sentences from to have an info of what your brand is dealing with, and AI will automatically pick your brand because you have the right answers. Again, another thing that is happening, Google is not the only place that this Gen AI platform is getting content from. It is getting content from YouTube. It is getting content from TikTok. It's getting content from all the social media platforms. A perfect example is also a platform like Grok on X. When you go on Grok and you search for something from Grok, what normally happens, it will give you all the information. Then pale chini, it will show you all the places it has been able to get the information from. So what does that tell you? That it has been able to get this information that you've asked it from various sources. So you'll see a small thing written there, article flani. It can be a YouTube icon, it can be Facebook, X, and a lot of information. So ideally what we are saying is, currently you don't have to be searched only on Google. Your information is supposed to be everywhere. Look at an example. You'll find that most people nowadays are not really searching on Google. When you go to TikTok, for instance, you'll get so many searches that people are looking for. And these are the answers that you're supposed to generate content for. And when somebody searches you on TikTok, you appear at the top of their searches. And when, for instance, somebody searches something on Google, at the same time, Google will be able to give you that video that you had posted on TikTok. It will come to Google, but now under ChatGPT or under now Gemini. So ideally what we are saying is, kitambo we had so many jargons, backlinks, you have to optimize your page, you have to do a lot of things. Currently there's nothing like that. And pole pole, it is fading away. And I'm not saying that it is completely gone, but I know with time it will be gone completely. Because what is happening, AI is keep on improving, they keep on changing the tactics, and the back in the days, information or how we used to generate information is changing slowly by slowly. So ideally, at the moment, what somebody is supposed to do, for instance, if you're a skincare brand, all the questions that clients would ask, then generate content for it. It might be blogs, it might be videos, it might be write-ups, it might be whichever, all types of content. Then now start distributing it across your social media platforms. So post it on YouTube, post it on Facebook, post it on X, Instagram, wherever. So when this information is being searched by anybody, so somebody can search best skincare brand in Kenya, as an example. normally you'll see that most of the brand that will appear at the top search of this Gen AI, you'll find that they're brands that are not in Kenya. So what does it tell you? It tells you that most of the brands in Kenya have not really embraced this. I think we are slowly trying to absorb what is happening, and slowly also trying to feel like, as we always say, trying to feel like AI is taking our job. But ideally, it is not taking our job. It's just for you to ensure that you're changing the tactics. How you used to work is no longer working. So how else can you ensure that whatever the brand you're working with, whatever the brand that you're pushing is seen at the top? Always, like, perfect thing you're supposed to do is just content. So content has to be answering. So for Gen AI, what is happening ideally, it is just answering questions of so many things. That is the most important thing, answering of questions. And secondly, when you're asking these questions, ensure that your questions are clear, so that when when Gen AI is getting the sources of the information, your information is clear. When your information is not clear, of course it will leave it out. Secondly, check on your structure. If, for instance, you're talking about what can I give, for example? I deal with a co-working space. So if you deal with a co-working space, what does co-working space do? In that co-working space, what does it entail? Give all the information. What are the charges? Who are the people who can work at a co-working spaces? These are the freelancers, etc., or the startups. So you give all the information in such a way that if somebody today searches co-working spaces in Nairobi, you appear at the top because of all the information that you've been able to give your social media platform. Currently, we are not just talking on Google, but when somebody searches it, able to get all the sources of information as to where you had put your content, and come out as an authoritative person. Ensure that your content, like whatever you're posting out there, is an information that when somebody sees it, they feel like this is somebody, they understand their craft, and at the same time, what they do. For example, at the moment in Kenya, when you search, who can I give as an example? When you search somebody that deals with the AI, for instance, this lady, Nyandia Gashago, she'll always appear at the top. Why? Because of the content that she's posting across. She goes out for talks. Remember, also talks are very important. The podcasts, the panels, and things like those ones. So she will always come at the top when you search for people that deals with AI in Kenya. So what does that tell you? It tells you that her content has come out as somebody that has authority over what they're talking about, and somebody that has really mastered their craft, and they understand what they're discussing, they're putting across. So that is very important when it comes to generative engine optimization. I feel like back in the days, you would need, say, maybe a tech person or somebody that has gone to school to understand SEO, that is search engine optimization. But at the moment, I don't think you really need that. You just need to know what you do. And what are some of the questions in the field that you're in? If you're somebody maybe that is in digital marketing, what are some people ask in digital marketing? Now generate content across board. Ensure that it's on YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. YouTube, when they go to Google, when they go to TikTok, you'll always appear at the top. It is not a rocket science, by the way. For this one, you don't even have to do when they a lot of information. No, you just need to understand your craft. You need to understand your audience, and at the same time, you need to understand the content and the questions. Once you get the questions, generate answers to those questions. Another thing is, people keep on talking about having viral hooks. Currently, we are not talking just about viral hooks and all. We are talking about how the hooks are able to make somebody, or the wordings in your hooks are able to ensure that your content will still appear on this generative engine optimization. So ideally, I don't think it's a rocket science, by the way. That is just the explanation. There's nothing else to it. There's no science behind it. Yeah, so ideally that is it. Let me just go through what I had prepared so that we can start from there. So before, when we talked about search engine, what used to happen, people would search. But currently, what is happening, people are asking. So what, as I've said, give answers to the questions that people are asking. Secondly, Kitambo, what we used to do was to ensure that we have so many links, we've done so many blogs, we've done the keywords and a lot of things. But currently is just direct answers. Just give the best and the direct answers. So for example, back in the days, for people maybe in real estate, somebody will go to Google and best plots in Kiambu. But currently, what we do is you ensure the questions of where people are asking. We will not go and ask best plots in Kiambu. Ideally, they will go and say something like, where can I buy affordable land in Kenya or Nairobi with flexible payment plan? So the question there is where. So if a brand is in real estate, they need to answer the questions of, here are the cheapest plots, for example, in Nairobi, say Ruaka, say I don't know where, say Kiambu, say in Kitengela, and things like those ones. So when somebody searches where can I buy affordable land in Kenya or Nairobi, the content that you've generated, the videos, the write-ups, the blogs and everything will appear at the top searches of anyone that is looking for land. So search has changed. What is happening is answering is what people are looking for. So what used to happen back in the days was ranking the pages, using keywords, writing blogs, but that is changing, and people are now, they want instant answers. As you realize, like, the journey that you are going, where we are headed is people really have a short attention span. I'll give an example, and it's something that is going even viral on social media. You put a movie on Netflix, but within like 5 minutes, you're back on your phone, you're not watching the Netflix. So attention span is really changing. So nobody has really time to go to Google, go to this website, close that website, come to the next website, close that web. No, what is happening, they just want to get the first 3 sentences of what ChatGPT will tell them, and from there, they will go by that answer. So from there, probably they'll go search your brand, get to understand what you do, and if, for example, your people or your brand is what they can work with. So you really need to understand that attention span of people has really gone down. Yeah. And then summarize your content. In terms of answering your content, 3 to 5 sentences enough. A lot of information. Wacha sasa mtu aendelee akiendelea kusearch. But from ChatGPT or the Gen AI, ensure that your content is very minimal. As I've said, people are looking for ways whereby they cannot be. Also remember, there's something that is really happening. A lot of people are being scammed in terms of the clicks and links and everything. So most people are really avoiding to click. So clicking websites and everything is really becoming like an ink. People don't want to do it. So what you do is appear at the top engine of Gen AI. Then platform searches. People are searching on platforms. I've talked about it. Somebody will go on Instagram, search for something. Somebody will go on TikTok, search for something. Currently, even YouTube is giving you a lot of information that you will still get on Google. So people are really searching from various platforms. Doesn't necessarily have to be Google. Yeah. So ensure that you've answered all the questions. It doesn't have to be websites alone. It has to be all round. Your content has to be all round. Then for this to happen, for Gen AI to be able to optimize your content, ensure that you have the keywords, you're answering all the questions, and every other information that you feel is very important to anybody that is looking for that type of content. So, and how does generally when you're looking at generative optimization, how does it work? How it works is it scans multiple sources of information. So it will, if you ask it something, it will scan from back there. So it will scan maybe the blogs, it will scan YouTube, it will scan articles, it will scan TikTok, it will scan X, etc., to get all this information and find if it's viable so that it can share it to you. Then it extracts the answers only. So that is why I was saying your answers has to be short and precise. So it only gets the answers and that is what it gives. In some instances, it will refresh responses kidogo too, but still ensure that whatever you're saying or whatever you said has really captured the first 3 lines of your content. As we move along, currently, what is really working also, a lot of stories, nobody is reading stories. Attention span has gone down. So we think that attention span of people. When it comes to answer engine optimizing, what are you supposed to do? You need to be creating content that is answering the question, short, clear, and direct response. Then structure for quick understanding. I've talked about that. Attention span iko chini. So ensure that your content is not hard things to understand, the jargons, and especially for people like us who are in the tech world, ensure that your content is very easy. There's somebody, for example, when they see something like AEO, they will never understand what it is. But if you ensure that how you've explained that content, even a class 7 person can be able to understand whatever you're saying. So ideally, what we are saying is just go straight to the point and then ensure that your content is easy to understand. That is just it. I don't think there's anything that is coming from the moon to answer all these questions. That is just it, unless there's anybody who has a question. Unless it's me, I cannot be able to hear you clearly. Ama, you are
Oh, I'm so
muted.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I was muted. Yeah. You've made thank you so much, Joanne. You've made this conversation sound very accessible. You've made GEO sound very accessible. And I know the audience is happy to feel that this is very accessible. But there's a flip side to it, that if everyone follows that playbook of everyone starts producing the same content, so how everyone optimizes to have all that information. But say we're in the same industry, how does a brand then stay distinct in a world where the algorithm is going to reward that comprehensiveness? You know, if everything is everywhere and everyone moves in that direction, then how is it that somebody will stay distinct from the other person?
I think it comes down to your content. It comes down to how you're answering your content, first of all, and how your content is structured. And also, it will always come down to your uniqueness. Because I still feel like, for example, me and you guys, we do the same thing. But at the end of the day, there's a way you will always craft your content that will always be very different from how I structure my content. So ideally, whatever will happen is inakwanga ni may the best person win. You get, may the best person win, because I cannot control what AI is going to pick. But if, for example, how I have answered my questions and how you've answered your questions and yours are the best, of course, you are the one who is going to do it. So all I think is it narrows down to how you've structured what your content is about, how you've answered it, and how you structured it. So it will always narrow down to that.
Okay, how then does a brand build credibility from 3 to 5 sentences? Because you told us that brevity is what is being rewarded because no, attention span is going low, right?
Yes.
Uh, but uh, in the past, we've known authority to be built in the depth.
Mhm.
Then how does a brand build credibility from 3 to 5 sentences?
So I'll give an example, yeah. Mm, which brand can I use? Let me give an example of a skincare brand or a makeup brand. So for a skincare brand, first of all, maybe somebody would be on Google and say they search something like mm, they search something like, for instance, best skincare product in Kenya. I'm a best skincare brand in Kenya. Let me just use the brand, best skincare brand in Kenya. So what will happen is, let's assume we have brand A and brand B. So for brand A, what they do is they ensure that they generate content answering about things to do with sunscreen. They generate content answering on questions to do with if somebody has some acne and all that information. They generate content, they teach people, they scanning, they give you they give testimonials, they give all the information about their brand. Then we have brand B. Brand B, all they do is they will always just be posting about, this is the product that we have, this is the amount that is going for, and that's it for them. So it is more of, take it or leave it. But brand A is structuring their content, not just from selling their product, but giving the information that somebody wants. They educate on what to do. They will show you how to go about it. They work with you. If, for example, you have an issue with your skin, they take you from point A up to point D, whereby now your skin is perfect and everything. So what will happen is, if brand A if somebody now go to search engine to search for something, brand A will always appear at the top. Reason is they have given a lot of information, not just selling, but every other thing that somebody would need. Then brand B will just be there because there's nothing they're giving. There's no information they're giving to a client that is in need of whatever product they're selling. So ideally, what I'm saying is your content is king. Content is king, and the content is not just selling. Because I feel like most people or most brands are always dying to sell. They are never educating people. They are never showing somebody's steps on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are never anywhere. It is just, this is the product I'm having. This is the amount that is going for, you buy. So of course, somebody that is giving all-round content, all-round information, they are the ones who will always stand at the top amongst everyone. I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, you have. I think I don't have any other question. Maybe Don can let us know if there are any other questions from the audience. Thank you so much, Joan.
You're welcome.
Oh, this is amazing. I mean, the topic around the evolution of SEO. You know, SEO for me back then when I was just venturing into this digital marketing field, SEO was one of the thing that when you heard about it, you are like, that is not part of me. Give that to someone else, probably, you know, an experienced website developer, or SEO has been known specifically for guys who are just also trained for SEO. But I'm liking the nuggets in that we're getting to learn that SEO right now is for everyone. It just depends with how you tailor your content and understand the trends around it, and oops, you are on top of things. Before then, for you to rank on Google, guys, we know how it used to be, how much you needed to do backlinkings, how much you needed to do on-site SEO, off-site. There was a lot of things. But then, I mean, this evolution is interesting, and probably just want to know, maybe from you, the last thing I just wanted to know from you, Joanne. You see, you've made us understand, before we needed to do a lot of, let's say, blogs and everything, those things that we need to do in order to rank. But also, on the other hand, you're telling us we even is current, the evolution in terms of generative is generate optimization and the answer optimization. It's still more or less like also we need to do a lot in terms of feeding content. It's only, is it now the only difference is just the way we tailor? Because I still feel like in both instances there is need for us to feed a lot of information so that we can rank. Or how do we distinguish that when it comes to how you how you now how much content you're supposed to put online so that you are able to rank or you're able to be found?
Okay. Let's come up again. There's something you said and I think I've not grasped well.
Yes.
There's something that you said there. Rudia tena your question kidogo tu.
The question is, with
Uh-huh.
this evolution of SEO, are we also supposed to leverage on a lot of content in order to also still rank? It's just a matter of how we tailor it, or it's more effective, or it's more easier than previously. Because previously we knew we were supposed to do a lot of blogs. You need to do a lot of content optimization, the on-site SEO, off-site SEO, all that. So how do we distinguish the two in terms of content now?
Okay. Now, what is happening is for this one, there's nothing about keywords are still important, and this one keywords are still important. But what is happening is, are you able? By the basically, the whole thing about GEO and AEO is just answering questions.
We
So
can't
if
hear you well.
I'm saying
Uh-huh.
for GEO and AEO, it is more or less about answering questions. As in, there's no explanation to it. It's just answering questions. So even if you're going to feed the information on the blogs, the backlinks and all that is not needed. As long as the blogs has answers to questions that clients are asking. As long as the videos that you're posting on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok has questions to what the clients are asking. As long as your captions is answering questions on what the clients are asking. So GEO and AEO is more or less just answering questions because that is how it is formatted. That is how it is coming out. So it wants a valuable information, and valuable information comes from questions that people are having. So ideally what I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
is the backlinks and things like these ones are not really important. Keywords are still important. So that one has to be factored. But at the same time, it is more of answering questions. So you're doing a blog. That blog should be, this is the questions, these are the answers, period. There's no other math to it. I hope I've answered you correctly.
Yes, yes. Lastly, are hashtags dead, or are we
Yes,
still?
they are very much dead.
Mhm.
If you ask me,
Tell me about it.
because currently there's nobody that is searching anything that will come with an hashtag. And that's on X, and it is just on few instances. Because Kitambo, it would be something has to be attached to the something has to be attached to the hashtag. Even currently on X, you can just find a topic something that is trending is content generation, just that. But Kitambo it would have been hashtag content generation. So it is changing.
Mm,
Yeah.
thank you for that. Thank you for that. I think I'm done.
Okay, thank you so much, Don. I see our time has
Elapsed.
elapsed. Yes, and this has been a very amazing conversation. And when we started, just as I said, when we started the conversation, this GEO, AEO, you see these words, they really sounded like a more of a technical problem. But from what John has been saying tonight, it's something simpler and something that you can be able to achieve. The only thing that you need to do from what she has told us is that you need to know what you do, you need to know who you're talking to, and you need to answer their questions even before they finish asking that question that they're typing, really. And you also need to show up consistently, that the AI already sees you and already brings you on top as the obvious answer in that industry that you exist in or you work in. And we now realize that the audience has gotten busier. So it's not that the algorithm has become smarter, it's the audience has gotten busier. So the brands that are going to win in this new world, um, they're really not the brands that have big budgets or best website developers and all. They're the ones who are going to understand their audience enough and their people enough to be able to meet them. Um, in 3 to 5 sentences, as John has told us. If you're able to meet people at that level, then it means you know your audience, you know your people, you know your clientele. So thank you so much, Joanne, for this conversation. It's been very practical, it's been very honest, and it's exactly what we need to be talking about today. And everyone, thank you so much for being here tonight. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much, Joan, for coming through, and for those nuggets. Thank you, Amra, for always giving us those for always moderating in a very interesting manner. And guys, for attending, thank you very much for giving us your audience. We do this each and every Thursday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. East African time. Feel free to slide into our DMs for further conversations around digital strategies, around anything around the digital economy, and we'll gladly welcome such conversations. Thank you so much and have a lovely night.